guest this week is Iyabo Ojo. I don't know how to describe her. She can be described in so many ways. Iyabo is an actress. She's an entrepreneur. You can also call her a woman rights activist because she has fought for a lot of people who otherwise would not have gotten justice in a lot of ways. She's a mother. In the last few weeks, whenever I want to chat her or call her, I call her grandma in waiting. You understand? And she's done very well for herself in the industry. And today we're going to be talking to her about her new movie, Labake Olododo. And we shall also be talking to her about a whole other of issues. But before we do that, Tommy will tell her a little bit about Iyabo.
Okay, so before we speak with our beautiful grandmother in waiting, I'll read her profile and just so that we get a start on things. So Nollywood actress Alice Iyabo Ojo is a popular and prominent Nigerian actress, filmmaker, producer, director, and entrepreneur. She made herself a name for herself in Yoruba and English Nollywood industry. Iyabo Ojo is from Ogun State. She was born on December 21st in Lagos State, and she attended National College in Bagada, Lagos, before enrolling in Lagos State Polytechnic to pursue a higher national diploma in estate management. Iyabo Ojo began her acting career in the late 1990s and has become one of the most recognized faces in Nollywood, particularly Yoruba language films. Beyond acting, Iyabo Ojo is also a social media influencer, a businesswoman owning a restaurant and a beauty business. She's known for her contributions in the industry and her outspoken personality, philanthropy, and advocacy for women empowerment. Iyabo Ojo quickly became a household name due to her ability to take on diverse roles, from romantic leads to strong dramatic characters. Some of her notable movies include Bolutife, Ololufe, Eson, Okunkun, Biri, Arinzo. She has appeared in and produced over 150 movies. I'm sure it's more than that, actually. Iyabo Ojo is set to release her much-anticipated movie, Labake Olododo, on March 25th. Welcome to the show.
All right.
28th.
28.
Oh, March
28.
28.
Okay.
Oh, I apologize.
Before we go into, my own first question is this. What prompted your choice of director? I saw that you worked with Biodun Stevens. I know that Biodun is one of the very good female producer. Was it you wanted to do a woman supporting woman thing, or why did you choose Biodun from the wide range of directors that we had?
Okay, so my movie is not a woman supporting woman thing because I have a lot of male in the production and the movie itself, but I have worked with Biodun countless of times and I love her mode of directing. She's very intentional when it comes to character. And we have a lot of directors that are more technical directors than they are artistic directors. And I wanted a blend of both. I wanted someone who can pay attention to the artistic directing, and not just say, because I knew I was bringing a lot of powerhouse on board. A lot of my colleagues, both my age mates and the younger ones were coming on board. And I knew that sometimes if you don't have a director that understands artistic directing, they'll just allow you to do whatever you want to do because you have a face or you have a name. I knew Biodun was not going to bend for that. She was going to look into your delivery and make sure you give us, the best of what we wanted. So I had worked with her. I didn't need no one to tell me about her because I already had known and seen that in her. So I picked her.
Okay, I remember that one of the places I had seen you both on maybe a set or a film together was Momiwa.
Yeah.
Was that the time that you're talking about that you worked with
her?
No.
I worked with her with a movie that was owned by Mary. Something about daddy tomorrow, grandpa, my sister. I don't remember a lot of roles I've played, but I worked with her on that. There was another job that we also did together also. So that Mamiwa, I think, was the third or fourth time I had worked with her.
Okay, now let's talk about Labake Olododo.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough going to the cinema.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Why have you decided to do this?
Like a cinema film.
What is the inspiration behind it?
Going to the cinemas.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started going to the cinemas way back when I did Arizo. That was my ever first time, and that's Arizo should be about, if I'm not mistaken, Arizo was 2013, I think. So I'm not sure yet, but that was my first experience at the cinema. And after that, I went with Black Val, which I produced. Desmond Elliott directed. I also went with Silence. I think I did Silence before Black Val. And then Silence was huge for me. And then I went with another Yoruba movie that I... Guys, pardon me, I really don't remember all the names of the movie I've produced. So I have been to cinema, a couple of times. And I wanted to do a comeback and see how it is. Number one, I'm a businesswoman. So when I see my industry and I see a place where, okay, let me see how it's going. I know the job, I understand my onions, and I want to make money as a producer. I'd relaxed for a while, took a break. And my coming back, I started with a YouTube. For those who have been monitoring me, I had to first, yes, YouTube. YouTube was new for me.
I like the one you made on one girl that were left home because they were protecting
her. Yes, yeah. That was my last one. What's the Inamiro?
Yeah.
So, guys, you have to pardon me. Like I said, I don't remember all my movies. Inamiro. And then I said to myself, you know what? Okay, while I was doing Inamiro, I knew that I wanted to come back fully as a producer. And I wanted to tap into every department that has to do with production. So I had done YouTube. I was ready to go for the mainstream. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what should we look forward to? What should I watch Labake Olododo?
Labake, you should look forward to a whole lot of things. Number one that you should look forward to, most importantly, is the storyline. Because as a producer, all my stories, I tell a story, and there's a meaning, there's a message to every story that I tell. I have produced over maybe 30, 40 movies, and I can tell you that for every movie that I have produced, I always tell a story, and so that's the first thing they should look out for. The second thing was, way back then, I gained more fans when I do my action movies. And so I said, okay, Iyabo's in Darugbulo, but you know what? The fire is still in there. You can still do this. And I was like, let me do this, because I've had the script for over 8 years now. Yes, and it was something I wrote in my head, and then I just put it down. And at the time, thank God that never happened. I wanted to produce this movie. I spoke with Corporate Pictures. I spoke with Adikas. Adikas and I even had the proper meeting, where we're supposed to shoot Labake Olododo then, but for DVD, right? But it just didn't work out. And I said to myself, when I went to watch Woman King, and I said to myself, I have a story similar like this about a female warrior, and I just put it aside after a while. So if I'm coming back, like I've always said that I was going to come back, I need to come back big. And I had to struggle between having to shoot Labake Olododo or shoot Arizo, the return of Arizo. So I said, you know what? A lot of my Yoruba fans were angry. Like, oh, Iyabo is like, you just left the Yoruba industry, you want to start doing just English. And I was like, okay, let me first give kudos to them, and let me first let them know that I love them and I'm still part of them, even though my English is too much, like they say in my industry, but I just let me just do this one first, because I'm also passionate about all my stories, but I was passionate about this one, and I knew this was going to take a lot from me, so I put in so much to it to make sure that I do this. And so one of the things they're also going to look out for is the locations, the costumes, the characters, everything. Labake is a fantastic story, and you would enjoy it.
Okay, is this your first epic film?
No, I have shot some epic films in the past, but this
But not
is
for
the
cinema.
first huge one for cinema.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my question is this: Nollywood is evolving
Yeah.
very fast.
Mm.
You understand? And do you think that not producing for a while has in any way affected your brand?
No, it hasn't affected my brand because you leave when the ovation is loud. And when you leave when the ovation is loud, you're loud forever. So if I go for 10 years and I come back, I'm good because I had built my foundation on a very solid ground. So, and even though I said I left, I was still producing. I was just not featuring. I was giving out monies to a lot of producers to produce for me. You know, and the movies were out there. So even a lot of my movies, you see them, but you don't know it's owned by me because I just give them money to go and produce it, and that's it. You know, so yeah.
Now, I'd like to talk to you about you as a mother.
Yeah.
Because I've known you for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I think it was about 2 months ago when I was looking through my collection of pictures, and I saw one picture of you and Priscilla.
Yeah.
And I laughed. I said I was going to post that picture on Priscilla's wedding day. I'm not going to post it yet. You understand? I know how much you are passionate about your children.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, leading to April, your child is going to get married. How does it make you feel? How do you feel? Do you still look at Priscilla as that little girl? How does it make you feel now? Do you feel? I saw your post when you said, now that your children are out of school, you now want to just enjoy your life.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel now?
Okay, so not only Priscilla, Festus, both of them are always going to be my baby. Always. And a child never grows old in the face of the mom. So they're always going to be my babies. I'm super grateful. Super grateful. I get emotional every time I talk about it because it's good pays. And I feel that what I am reaping today, or what my kids are reaping today, is the good that I have done. Right? I believe so because when you take care of other people's children passionately, not because you want anyone to applaud you for no reason, but you're doing it from a place of the goodness of your heart, God will definitely take care of your own. You don't need to expect, like I don't expect anything back from anyone I have taken care of. I can't count how many children I have sent to school. I can't count how many children I have raised. I can't count how many people have lived in my home and still living in my home. And I do that effortlessly. Sometimes it's strenuous because I have to sacrifice a lot of my personal income that I could use for something else, right? But it's part of my calling and it's something I do. And I always used to say to myself, when my friends told me, oh yeah, come on, you know, and some of them that do something bad and they feel like, yeah, but stop doing this, it's not good, leave people alone. But I have it in me to do. Now, when God sends you a message and you do God's work, He will bless you back. There's no how you give that you will not receive. So I strongly believe that my children are going to be fine. So this is a testament of what I have always preached and you know, Michelle, I've always said it. And I'm grateful to God because all that glory, everything has to go back to God. It is God's doing. It is God's ways of saying, I got you.
My next question is 2 in 1, and it's still on motherhood and your children.
Yeah.
I see that when people try to get at you, and they can't get at you, they now try to get at your children because you know that one will
get
to you.
Yeah.
You understand? How do you? And I see now that you have learned to ignore a lot of people now. How do you handle that? And then secondly, when your daughter had the ceremony in Tanzania, some people went on social media, said so many things and the rest of it. What's your reaction to those?
It's like, thank you. You said some people, those people don't matter. The decision I make, my children make in our home, in our house, is what matters. That's all. I don't know them. I don't take decisions for them. I don't know what goes on in their lives. So whatever but they are allowed to their opinion. Everybody's allowed. Sometimes I read things about other people and I have my opinion about them. But can I project it on them? No, because it's their life to live. And I don't need to come out and explain anything about that to anyone, because we all own our life. When I die today, nobody's dying with me. Right? When I'm hungry right now, no matter how much you love me, you're not going to give me your womb and your intestines to hold my hunger. Right? I have to sort myself out. So every man is on his own. Just know that when you take a decision, does it favor you? Is it good for you? That's what should matter more to you. My children matter more to me. Their happiness matters more to me than anybody's decision or thoughts or ideas or opinion. It doesn't count when it comes to my children. Right? I will put my happiness on hold for them to be happy. So that's all that matters. As long as they're good, that's all that matters. Now, the first question you asked, when they were much younger, it got to me because I felt they were vulnerable and there was no one there to talk for them. I didn't know how it felt, in their mental state, their mental mind. And I didn't want my children growing up feeling depressed, feeling a certain kind of way. One good thing I made sure happened when they were growing up as teenagers, they didn't have access. There was not much social media. And even the little media that was available, they had no access to it. Except maybe when they're in school, whatever they teach them in school, when they come home, weekends when they were already in their senior classes, that's when they had access to phone. And they had access to phone because they had to communicate with their father, if need be, right? So a lot of things that were written then, they really didn't get to see it. Growing up, as they began to grow up and in social media, they already know who their mother is. So you go out there and say, oh, Iyabo is this, Iyabo is that, Iyabo is this. You can only agree with that, right? If that person is actually what you are saying that person is aimed at. So they know me better. They understand me better. So when you're describing somebody else to them, it doesn't matter to them. Okay.
So there are not too many actresses in your of your caliber right now that can boast of many of the things that you can boast of.
Yeah.
How does it feel now that you have children who are mature now?
Yeah.
You can still play the CC role. You can still play the young wife, mother role.
Yeah.
And you're still achieving, you're still relevant in the industry.
Yeah.
How do you strike that balance in between all of those things that you are and still retain yourself and still work hard at what you do and still make a success of it?
Okay, so I think that would be because I had my children early. When you have kids at a very early age, you have the strength, the energy to pull through and raise them. And as they begin to grow, you find out that the work stress reduces. And what I mean by work stress is you having to beat them, feed them, run around, right? You get helpers. They begin to grow. So you guys grow together. And when you have kids early, trust me, you don't want to grow old. Because your kids will always make you feel young. They want you to play with them, dance with them. There was a time I did mother-daughter dance. I did with my children also. They always wanted to dance with me. I also wanted to dance with them. They want to dress up. You want to dress up with them. So when you have kids early, you guys grow up together. And so that youthfulness is always in you. Like I said, Priscilla talked to me into using TikTok. She introduced me to TikTok. I didn't know anything about TikTok. And if I didn't have her in my life, I probably would not have made so much money from TikTok. Do you understand? But because they're young and you're young, it's easy for you to keep being youthful, So you guys will grow old together. So for me, you have to you cannot be in the industry and not take care of yourself. You must take care of yourself. You must eat right, sleep right, feed your skin, take care of yourself, dress well. It's expensive. That's why you work and maintain that look, because entertainment comes fashion, and fashion, for you to have fashion, you must have good looks, and good looks comes with so many things, so you just have to balance it up, take good care of yourself, And don't let too many things get to you. A lot of people growing up with their children, they're frustrated, school fees. It sounds very easy, I'm talking about it now, but it's not an easy journey, actually. There are days of depression, there are days you're sad, there are days you don't even want to get out from bed, there are days you don't even want to do anything. There are days that those days will come, but you just have to look at the brighter picture and just look at those children. They should be your motivation. When I'm down, my kids, I look at them, I'm up. When many times I'm in my closet crying, they knock on the door, I wipe my tears. When they were younger, they come in, mommy, their voice alone, their look, their total existence just lights up my mood. So they should motivate you. So they motivate me, and now that they're grown and they're an adult, it's time for me to do me. So that's why I said now I even take care of myself more. I pay attention to me more, right? Because now I know they are grown and they're an adult.
Okay, now my next question. In the last 10 years, there's been so many negative story about you, and you always have a way of, sometimes you face them, sometimes you ignore some, sometimes you. I want to ask you, out of all those negative stories, I remember that in my whole life, I've only had to face one, and that was when I advise people when they have issues, they come to me, and it is always, I always tell them, ignore, and now know it was not easy to ignore. You understand? I want to ask you, out of all those negative stories, which one of them actually eats you and really hurts you most? That you felt bad?
There's so many. Every single issue I've had hurt me in certain ways. So I cannot really pinpoint one. Everyone had its significant, but positively and negatively. Every single case that I have handled, because I think Nigerians, I've come to understand that there's not too many good. So I feel like when you try to do things positively, people think there's
a reason behind this.
It's an
I think
agenda.
that's the only thing that baffles me. I don't care how many stones you try to throw. Yeah, Mr. I'm guarded. I'm tough like that. But most times, what hurt me is not even the opponent person. It's the people and their mindset. The fact that they feel that for you to come out and speak against something or support something or create a movement to better the society or whatever it is you want to do positively, they feel there's something. You fight for a girl child, you're doing it because somebody sponsored you, or because you're trying to do this, or because the person they do. You don't have to have any selfish reason to do good. That's the only thing that baffles me out of everything that happens.
Okay.
And for every fight, I have always spent my money. I have always paid my lawyers. In fact, I'm sure my lawyer will wonder, why is this woman not fighting anymore? You understand? I have always done things with my own hand.
Okay. Now,
without expecting anything.
Now, how do you feel? I'm sure you were for months on this Mohbad issue. Till now, Mohbad is not yet buried. Till now, for example, me personally, I made up my mind not to watch any interview about anybody talking about Mohbad or to even, if anybody send me a post about Mohbad, I don't want to post or anything. How does it feel after those strong fights you went into? Everybody was emotional about it, and till now, over 1 year after, Mohbad has still not been buried. The little widow you were trying to protect, people are still trying to castigate her. How does it feel? And we were talking about somewhere, somewhere. I said, why is Iyabo not talking about it again? You understand what I'm trying to say? So, How does it feel? Is it that you got tired of them, or you just decided to walk away?
Okay, so I said I was not going to talk about this Mohbad case again, because for me, I just want to move past it. But if there's anything, one of the fights, Mohbad's case is one fight I regret ever pushing for him to be exhumed. I wish we didn't have to do that. If we could change the hands of time, I think we would have
Allow the boy to rest.
allowed him to rest. Seek justice if we can, but at least we will know he's resting. But the video of his neck being broken in the casket, I think that was what pushed me out to speak. And the questions that Naira asked was so big on my chest, and as a mother I had to vent because everyone was emotional at that time. I really wished that we didn't have to push for him to be exhumed, because like you said, until now he's not buried. That means he's not resting. So that is one thing I wish that never happened. I never had to get involved doing, right? But for for the case, a lot happened, and if I had to continue that way, it would just have gotten more messier, because accusing fingers were pointed and people saw a lot of videos and a lot of things online that triggered so many emotions. And if I'd continued to push, like I said, it would have really gotten bad. I had to just pull back because my family wanted me to pull back because my fans wanted me to pull back, and pull back because I knew that nothing was going to happen to Wunmi bad. If any harm was going to come for her, I would have stood out again. But I knew that.
Are you still in touch with her?
Of course. I would always be in touch with her and her son, until the law finds her guilty. Then, because I believe that it was not only Wunmi in that house. There were a lot of them in the house. There's nurses there that came to give him injection. There are a lot of them there that was in that house. And investigation, like they said, is still ongoing. I don't know that they're done with the investigation now. So the reason why we asked him to be seeks that he be exhumed was because we just wanted to be sure. We wanted to be sure whether truly there was the injection, what was found in what killed him. We just wanted to know, because there were so many narratives that were put out there, and we just wanted to know, and that is not for me to do. I'm not a doctor. I can't find out that. I don't own the law. We can only push with our foundation and with our face and with everything, and then it's left for the government to decide whether they want to carry on.
Are you still in contact with the mom?
Mohbad's mom? Yes.
What about the dad?
The dad and I were never in good contact. You understand? I called him once, and I called him after they said he had taken everything from Mohbad's body. The first time I wanted to see him, I got a video of some celebrity who went to Ikorodu and they were almost attacked, right? So that I pulled back, and I decided that okay, let me go and see Mohbad. I said, Mohbad, let me go and see the widow and the mom. I didn't know whether the dad was there, but let me go to their house in Lagos. So when I got there, I found the mom and Wunmi there, and the dad was not there. I asked after him. They said he was in Ikorodu and everything, but I didn't want to go to Ikorodu, not because I didn't want to go and see him, but because of the area, boys and everything. And I felt, okay, if I was going to go, I'm going to need extra security and all that. And then we're going back and forth with having to push for the government to exhume his body. We were money to do a walk for him. You remember? You know, so we had so much that we were doing that I didn't get to see him. And I was like, okay, whenever he comes, they should let me know. I could come to Mohbad's then house to see him, but I wasn't ready to go to court.
All right.
So we had that, but I didn't get to see him until when we decided that, okay, Mohbad has been buried. Now we've asked that he be exhumed. He has been exhumed, but we needed to put him back to rest because everything they need,
they've removed.
So the body is just there. There's not, if they want to, even if they want to do 10 autopsy, they will go and pick from what they have taken. There was nothing left to do with his body. So let's give him a befitting burial, at least. Make the memory of Mohbad known in everybody's head while they pursue, the justice for Mohbad's case. Now, justice for Mohbad was not just about how Mohbad died. It was about so many things. We demanded so many things. We demanded to know what killed him. That was the only reason why he was exhumed, to know what killed him, so that we don't have to believe just the stories that were told by the widow and the brothers and the friends in the house, right? But another thing was his bully. You understand? Sam Larry, who was bullying him, the video that was released, we wanted to know, and we wanted him to be brought to book. Why would he have to bully Mohbad? Another thing was his family claimed that he's royalty because he had a son, and we needed to fight for the boy to be able to get his royalty, and also the mom and the dad, right? So we were trying to do a total, how will I put it? Work.
To put together his estate.
Yes, just to fight for him so that his spirit at least will rest wherever it is now. So they took the situation and they turned it around and made it all about
the money.
So many things. Yeah.
Okay, because we don't have time, I'd like to ask you this. As somebody who had been in, I'm sure there are some things you can't even say on radio. You understand? How do you, in 1 minute, how do you think that this issue can be resolved and I'm not talking about justice now.
Okay, the family?
It can be buried at least, because the two noises I'm hearing is DNA.
Yeah.
And then it's not been buried. How do you think those two issues?
Yeah, Wumi wants to do the DNA. She wants to do the DNA. The father now is the one who needs to accept it. I think he has his own conditions. So until the two family can come to an agreement, I don't know if that DNA will work. Until the father is ready to say, okay, let's do the DNA. So that is one. If they can both come and meet a common ground and say, okay, since Wumi has agreed to do the DNA, the father is signing, and they can do. Wumi has her own side of the story. He has his own rules. I'm not ready to bend for that rules. So until that can happen, we're going to be going back and forth with this Mohbad being buried issue, unless the dad wakes up tomorrow and says, okay, you know what, let them bury this boy. Okay. So that's left for the family to decide.
Okay, so I'll bring you back to social media a bit.
Yeah.
In the time that we've been here, you've talked about making money on social media.
Yeah.
And a lot of people right now are complaining that social media needs some form of regulation at some point.
Yeah.
Because somebody will just wake up someday and say, oh, this person is dead. That person's marriage is crashing.
Yeah.
What's your take on it as somebody who has been attacked with social media, but is also making money on social media? What's your take on the issue? What do you think the government should be doing?
If they could, how are they going to regulate it? So that's.
Do you think it should be regulated?
Yes. When you say regulated, in what sense? There are different areas. Social media brings to the table, and they have a lot of disadvantages. So when you talk about, because people say regulated, how do you want it regulated? Everybody has their own ideas of how they want social media to be regulated. Okay, so when someone wants to curse out someone, will the video just disappear? Is that what you want? When you type things that are not inappropriate, will they ban your page and delete your page? We need to understand, because when you say regulate, what area of regulating are you, or regulation are you talking about? Right? So yes, it should be on some aspects and not on all aspects. So we have to clarify that. Because at the end of the day, social media has come to stay. It's the era that we live in. We just have to accept it. It has come. It's how to manage it that is important. And we must be able to hit the nail on the neck.
As we're rounding up, my last question for you.
Yeah.
Why should I go and watch Labake Olododo on March 20?
No, I think the question should be, she has answered that question earlier. I think the question should be, what makes Labake Olododo different from other epic films that we've seen in the last few years?
Yeah, because what makes it different and unique is that it's a love story mixed with a little bit of action, drama, comedy. Because people see epic movie and they feel it's all fight, I take up for incantations and all that. But no, it has its own story. So there's a balance, a very big balance. Yeah.
All right. So you've been, unfortunately, we don't have time. One or two questions I really wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, but I'm going to ask you this. You answer in 30 seconds. How do you? I noticed that a lot of other actresses in the last few weeks has been saying very good things about how you helped them when they were coming up. I've read about one or two. How does that make you feel?
Good.
And I also noticed that now actresses fight less. I guess it's because everybody now is making money and are focused on
we're all adults now. We're no more babies. We're grown.
Somebody said something about you yesterday. I said one of the things he likes about you is the fact when you are angry, you say it out and you move on to the next fight.
Yeah.
You don't keep malice.
I don't.
Thank you so much. It's been very long trying to get Iyabo to come on the show, but it's worth the time. I've been educated, I've been informed, and I've been entertained this afternoon.
Thank you.
Remember, Labake Olododo is going to be in the cinema March 28th.
Yeah.
You must not miss it.
You must not, though.
You must not miss. I think that's around when Itunuawe is.
Coming.
So it's going to be a good lot of skit already, and I know that Iyabo is probably the queen of skit with what she does with her. So we are going to see more leading to, and also congratulations on the wedding of your
my daughter. Yeah.
We hope that a lot more will come. We also wish her and her husband.
And I have to use this opportunity before I go to say thank you so much to you, Sheon, because you've been a big supporter of Priscilla. I remember her first award, Child Award, and second one, she got it from Born Awards. We had to fly down to Port Harcourt to even pick one we didn't know. So I want to say thank you for supporting, because you also had supported Priscilla's career. And thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. And thanks for listening. Till next week when we'll come back with another special